they think an anthropologist might be, Luca?
I think it's someone who studies how humans evolved.
Okay, that is a fantastic answer. We're going to talk more about that, but that is right.
Let's learn more about biological anthropology. We're going to start off with a Zoom poll for everybody. Do you guys think you guys were the same when you were a baby versus how you are now? No, you changed a lot, right? I think everybody changes so much once they grow up. So you imagined yourself as a baby versus now, right? And you change so much over that long period of time. Well, the human species itself has also changed a lot. Anthropology is a really cool subject because humans have lived for more than thousands of years. So over time, they slowly change too. So anthropology is the study of how humans have grown and changed over humanity's lifespan. There's actually two categories of anthropology. There's biological anthropology and there's cultural anthropology. The biological anthropology is the physical traits that change over time for a human. How they get taller, how they walk, and then cultural is how their culture changes over time as well. One of our greatest ancestors is called Luca, and it was one of the very first found that have relations with us.
So let's talk a little bit now about adaptation. So a long, long time ago, before your parents, grandparents, parents were born, humans look very, very different. And as your environment changes, you change bit by bit, right? So now imagine humans in the world all working really, really hard and all trying to adapt to survive and stay alive. And that is adaptation, changing over time to change to your environment so that you can survive. And so let's have a little bit of a discussion about this. So let's think about how do you think people might live differently in a hot desert versus somewhere really, really, really cold that has lots of snow?
I think it's different to live in the desert or the snow because since we live here, we wear normal clothes. But if we lived in the desert or the snow, we would have wear different types of clothes.
So you're talking about exactly what we're talking about, adapting, changing so that you can survive and live healthy. And so that's what humans have had to do over time. And so how do we have evidence? As scientists, we need evidence. And so we look at the history under the Earth's layers. So these are the different layers of the Earth, and they all refer to a different era of time in Earth's history. So we live in the Cenozoic era, and it started about 66 million years ago. And dinosaurs lived in the Mesozoic era, which was 250 million years ago. So how, as scientists, can we use the Earth's layers to help us understand how humans might have changed over time?
So imagine Earth is like a cake, right? So the oldest layers are going to be in the bottom, right? You don't start the cake from the top, right? So over time on Earth, you make these little layers on your soil. And then more and more stuff built on our soil. So then another layer forms. And then more time goes on and another layer forms. So like a cake, we're stacking on layers of soil on each other over time. So how do scientists use this? Well, a scientist can actually compare stuff based on their age and these layers. So you're going to know for sure something is way lower versus something that's in the very top layer of our Earth, like a cake. Very top thing is going to be, of course, the newest thing, right? It's going to be a lot younger than the thing that we did all the way in the bottom layer, right? So scientists use that to compare skeletons of humans to check how long ago were these humans alive versus the humans that are like on this other layer that's way further up.
Is it like when you bake the cake, like you have to bake one layer, then another one, and then another one?
Exactly. So you can think about the Earth's layers as layers of cake, right? The layer of the Earth that we're at right now is the most recent, and it's the era that we're living in right now. We're going to learn a new concept now, which is bipedalism. Can everybody unmute themselves and say bipedalism?
Bipedalism.
Bipedalism. Bipedalism.
Can anybody take a guess, a scientific guess, about what they think bipedalism means? You can go ahead, Ezra. Yeah.
2 feet.
2 feet. Exactly. Great job. Bipedalism is walking on 2 feet. So I have a question now. Are humans bipedal? Do we walk on 2 feet? Yeah? Yeah, we do, right? Can we think of any animals that don't walk on 2 feet? Allison, can you think of an example of an animal that doesn't walk on 2 feet?
The animal that doesn't walk on 2 feet is a dog.
A dog doesn't walk on 2 feet. Exactly. Ellie, you have an example?
A giraffe.
And so how many legs do giraffes walk on and dogs? You ready? 4, exactly. Does anybody take a guess? If humans walk on 2 legs and they are called bipedal, and dogs, for example, walk on 4 legs, can anybody think of what they might be called?
I think quadrupedal.
Quadrupedal, great guess. So it would be quadrupedal. So here, look, we have a human walking very fast, walking on 2 legs, and we call this bipedalism, okay? And then we have a funky zebra here doing some funky steps. And this would be quadrupedal.
The very first of our ancestors to walk on 2 feet.
So we're going to listen first.
Australopithecus.
Australopithecus.
So those are the ancestors of humans called hominin, which took the very first steps 2 to 4 million years ago. So that's a lot of time ago.
An idea that scientists have was that prior to that, we may have been quadrupedal, but we don't know, right? And that's something we're trying to figure out. Like, did we walk on 4 legs or did we always walk on 2? Now we're going to make our own bipedal human. This is what we're going to make, okay? So we're all going to follow my instructions. That we could take a group picture. On the count of 3, hold up our human and say cheese.
Cheese.
2, 3.
I think it's time to meet our very special guest of the day, everybody. Give a big round of applause to Daniel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel Aslan. I am a biological anthropologist. I'm a PhD student at USC as well. And what I do to study biological anthropology, I do a lot of experiments in the lab. So I study human movement in a lab, but there's all different types of biological anthropologists. So some people go out to study chimpanzees in Tanzania, and others actually go and look at how humans in different societies live. And so some humans still don't use technology that much, and they'll actually hunt and gather for food. So those are all different types of anthropologists. One of our main questions I'm going to ask right now: why are humans weird? That's a good answer, Izzy.
We walk on 2 legs.
Yes. Why is walking on 2 legs so weird?
I think we're weird because we walk on 2 legs, and because we walk on 2 legs, and some animals, like in the video, they didn't walk on legs.
Yeah, that's why we're weird. So check out this bear walking. Looks like we have a video. So he walks on 2 legs, and then he went down to 4, but now he's back walking on 2 legs. Does that seem weird to you? Yeah. So why might you think this bear is walking on 2 legs instead of 4?
It's weird because some bears walk on 4 legs. They usually walk on 4 legs, but some bears like this walk on 2 legs, like humans.
I think the bear's walking on 2 legs instead of 4 legs because it kind of looks like the bear walking in 2 legs goes faster than 4 legs.
That's true, Isabel. That is such a good answer. And it's such a good observation too. Isabel's observation that she saw that this bear walked faster on two legs. So this bear wants to go somewhere. When it wants to go somewhere fast, it was walking on two legs. And if you look at the video right here, this bear actually has an injury to its right arm. It looks like it's missing part of its right arm. And so this bear decided that he's probably faster walking on two legs than four, or for his case, 3.5 legs. And so he adapted to his new situation because how his anatomy is, and he's able to survive this way. Chimpanzees, just for your reference, we talked about other primates before, but chimpanzees are our closest living relatives. So you can see that they walk not like us, but they're able to walk on two legs, and they're able to hold things similar to us. So with that, we can watch this video.
This is Hercules. He's supposed to be walking in a nice straight line, but actually he's just monkeying around. Hercules is one of two chimps helping scientists understand the origins of human walking. This is what humans look like when they walk. To keep track of the body's movements, researchers stuck markers on specific points of their subjects and traced their position. And this is Hercules' colleague Leo taking a stroll. Clearly pretty different to his human counterpart. Chimps swing their hips much more than humans when they walk. By tracing the markers, the researchers were able to analyze these differences. When humans walk, we swing our ribs in the opposite direction to our hips, which helps us to save energy. From looking at their skeletons, chimps' torsos appear to be too rigid to make this movement possible.
Back to my question in the beginning, why we're really weird. So why are we walking on 2 feet instead of 4? And so if we watched that video before, it kind of talks about if we can save energy when we walk compared to chimpanzees. And that was one hypothesis you all talked about before. Another hypothesis that you guys talked about before is sometimes we might want to carry things. And so to free up our hands, we'd walk on 2 feet. But if we look at this image right here, or this little GIF right here, this is a chimpanzee carrying oranges. And he usually walks on 4 legs, but he still has the ability to walk on 2 legs and to hold things. And if you look at his feet, he's actually holding more than we could because he's able to grasp oranges with his feet. Let's watch this video if it works. So these are other primates. And you see how they're swinging through the trees? So there's other hypotheses about humans that we actually swing through the trees prior to coming down to the ground. But there may be a lot of negatives to walking on 2 feet. We can easily fall over, as you can see this lady falling over right here. And so walking on 2 feet is challenging. Another thing is we're actually really slow if we went into an all-out sprint compared to an animal on 4 legs. Right there. First, I would have you just walk back and forth in the hallway, and we'll give you 20 seconds to walk back and forth. And then after that, we'd have you count backwards by 20.
Yeah, we're getting towards the end of the session. Do we have any questions for Daniel? Allison.
Why did you choose to study this as a scientist?
Yeah, so I first started studying human movement because I was really into athletics. So I played football and I ran track, and I just really loved athletics. So I wanted to also study science, so I started studying that. And I started thinking about animals, and I found this combination of studying humans and animals. Then I read some books of professors that wrote about this, and I thought it was so cool. So that's how I got into this field.
Everybody say thank you to Daniel for coming and talking to us today.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
teaching us more.
Say bye. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, Wonderkids.
Bye.
And you guys have a big